think it should have worked. Could tell me when we go live, actually. And welcome F-Box to the Wholesome Deviants. I don't know when that happened, but welcome to the Wholesome Deviants. I think that was for this stream, actually. You should tell me it goes live, and then I know we've gone live. That's all I want. Music is so loud and dramatic, isn't it? And here's my food. Do we have an ad break? We're gonna have one in 8 minutes. So I'm just gonna eat my food for now. I know it's mostly see-through because of the green screen, but the salad and pasta, so it's very green. It's a very green food. I love eating green food. I don't like wearing green, but I love eating it. Still hasn't told me we've gone live. Select live sources. It says we're live. I think we're live. Okay. Finish this before the ad break. He did it! He somehow fixed it. Good job, Tom. All right, let's get some salad in here. I wish I could get the salad on my fork. Mmm. Ah. Okay. Okay. Let's get started, guys. I know we're in ad break now, but I ate too long and I'm full, and so I need to wait to finish the rest of it. Welcome everyone to another. Well, actually, let me put this on screen. Forgot about that. Let me actually capture this game on OBS. That would be an idea. All right. Are we good? Is it here? Are we capturing? Yes, okay. Welcome everyone to another part of our Tyranny playthrough, the game we haven't played since April, well, and yesterday. We have made it to Lethian's Crossing at another spire, I believe, and we've beaten up some of the Brotherhood out of there, and I think they might still be in the spire, but we're gonna walk around town, make sure we talk to all the people around town, because I love playing RPGs for the RPG and the characters, even if it's like a side character that never affects your life. Also, we have enough characters in our party now that we can start doing the same thing we were doing in Baldur's Gate 3, which is rolling a dice to determine who's in our party. We have 2 people on the bench right now, 3 people in the party, which means we can roll a d6. Actually, I should say a d4. No, that's not correct. Not including me, 3 people, so that's 5. So we need to roll a d6. Let me get my dice out. Where are my dice? Here is my dice. Oh, I forgot to put on smelly stuff after my shower. I should do that. I'm still wearing my yoga clothes, so I'm sure I smell amazing right now. Okay, d6. Let's go. We rolled a 4. Let's continue the game. Yes. Back to the town. I think we should just do this in order of who entered our party. I need to remember who. I think Verse was the first one in a party. Then it was technically the other guy. I can't think of his name. Then Barrick. Then Ebb. And now the new character we just got added in. Oh, sorry. I drink soda and then I just pass. I just burp permanently for the rest of my life. Okay, I don't know how we can get back to camp to change our party, actually. I think... Oh wait, it said we were supposed to be able to press the spire, right? Merchant with motley crew of items for sale. A skilled trainer who teaches unarmed attacks, parry, dodge, and subterfuge. A skilled trainer who teaches one-handed weapons, corpse eye, a battlefield scavenger with many unique items for sale. Skilled trainer who teaches one-handed, a smith who regularly produces weapons. I guess we should just hire this guy. No edict. Edict of fire. Edict of storms. Edict of stone. I thought there was a way we could go there. Maybe we have to travel there? We should probably log out in camp then. The fourth person who joined our party would have been Eb. And then the new character we just got. And then... Oh, that's all magic people? Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Affirmative.
This game might be too hard to play like that, but we'll see what happens. Right, I saved here because this is where I wanted to go next. Welcome everyone from the ad break. Eldian is our true leader. Talk to him if you need something. Oh, we've got some civil war. It's fine day as long as you don't think about the armies beyond the horizon or the Bane lurking within the old walls. The Bane within the old walls. Also, I don't need this. I realized some of my audio was cutting out yesterday when I was saying stuff, so I'm going to put my mic a little closer to my face today.
Won't happen.
The old walls are dangerous. I wouldn't recommend going inside. Okay, he doesn't want to talk to me about anything. Ooh. New bow, huh? What else do we have here? A potion. This wall appears to be damaged years ago, but was never properly repaired. Okay, so if we find Eldian...
Won't happen.
How do I get out of here? Alright, let's see where else we haven't been in this map, this area. Got anybody else? Any place else we haven't been? I think we went there. I kind of wish the game would tell me where I've been, but I don't remember where I've been. Did we go anywhere on this side of the town? I don't think so. I think there's only one place to go on this side. Which is up here. This building here. I wish I could make this map bigger and I could zoom into it more. I do actually wonder if this game has... No, it doesn't seem to have a HUD control. I think I kind of wish I could make the HUD bigger. death. No, I turned off death. I'm like, I don't want to deal with death. I'm not. I'm just a scaredy cat. I'm just a scaredy cat for permanent death. Maybe we should do 125. Usually looks good to me. So we can frame limit. Does that actually change anything? I feel like the game is really small for my eyes. I'm like looking at the game like this because it's so tiny. Who is this? Callion. Some more. The young man hangs his head and regards your approach with a pitiful sigh. Greetings. He is barely able to force the word, this voice breaking as he speaks. What's wrong? He takes a deep breath, steadying himself. My sister Kayla and I watched the Bronze Brotherhood fending off multiple waves of Kairos' forces when they tried to take the crossing. I was terrified, but she was exhilarated. In a way, I've never seen her so alive. He chose back a sob. She got fire up that she joined the Brotherhood the first chance she got. Shortly after joining the center on a scouting mission with some other Brotherhood soldiers, but none of their party returned. They were all found dead at Deserter's March. I'm sorry, is there anything I can do to help? He shakes his head. Thank you, but no, I just want to be left alone. Deserter's March. Wish I could go there. It seems like we're just getting dialogue from people, but no quests from them. Which is really weird. I don't think we're getting any quests from doing this, right? Hide completed quests. Yeah, we only have primary quests, so we're not even getting any side tasks or anything. Okay. Let's go into the tower and see if we get attacked by some Brotherhood in here. It doesn't seem like there's any enemies in here. This is an eerie glow of unknown origin coming from the depths of this pit. I don't want to go in the middle. The middle definitely is somewhere I don't want to be. Oh, what is that? Some sort of portal. These floor stones have been broken recently. Bits of metal nearby have suggested it was a result of careless soldiers. Interesting rune. The sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at the Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, and thus the final form of the rune is unknown. Take a charcoal rubbing. Pressing the charcoal to the parchment, you capture a blurry but proportional image of an ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. Okay. Examine the mysterious rubbing.
It's all in the reflexes.
Let's examine our rune that we just got. Fortune of unknown sigil has been recorded on the scroll. Determine the significance of the rubbing. How do I determine that? I guess I have to go find more pieces of it. Maybe this is just a puzzle room? With puzzles that we have to puzzle through? I was thinking somebody would be in here and attack us. The door creates near perfect seal with the surrounding walls along its surface. You see several chips and shallow gouges? Yeah, gouging out the eyes. Gouges. Shallow gouges from failed attempts to force it open. There's nothing to interact with it while on its panels, and you surmise that it was never meant to be opened from this side. So the Brotherhood actually failed to open this. Okay.
Interesting.
Ooh, somebody found something. More camping supplies. Haven't we already done camping? Oh, we'll leave it here then. Too bad we can't carry multiple camping supplies. I think
I cannot.
we've looked enough here. What formation are we on again? Diamond, line. No, we'll just stay on diamond for now. Oh. Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. That's fun. Interesting. It just makes this bigger. I can't make it any bigger. It's already as big as it can be. Okay. Let's go to the next area. This mysterious land.
The masonry here puts the artisans of Sunder to shame.
It's an absolute shame. Okay, we've got some puzzles here. Another runic symbol. The chamber immediately reminds you of the Ascension Hall. An intricate rune running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across the great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's well. A second relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol. Let's take another rubbing. Though the draw on the rune remains incomplete, it seems like the completed design is symmetrical in nature. Should the need arise, you can reasonably guess its original shape. Okay, we need one more, I think. Somewhere.
Study
But it
carefully
says we
the
can kind of
glyphs.
guess.
They're gibberish to me, but I know magic when I see it.
Wait, maybe not. Let me look at this glyph again. I think, can we keep this open? Oh, we can. Okay. Keep that. Oh, no, it went away. Okay. Ooh, what is this? Oh, right. Okay, I just want to keep that open. Okay, so I can see what I have to draw. I think we're gonna do this. 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 And then we want to go down here. Oh, wait, did we do something wrong?
I'd have it no other way.
Maybe we have to do it in a certain direction? Pretty sure we don't have to go all the way. Can we go down instead? Okay, why can we only do 3? Maybe... Wait, we can only do 3? Okay, wait, can we only do 3? Oh no, we don't only have to do 3. Okay. Okay, I need just me to do this, please. I just need me to do this, please.
On
I don't
it.
need you guys following me around. Oh, shit. I messed up. And I can't undo what I did because... Ah! Crap. Okay, I see what we're doing. We have to make the connections manually. Okay, that's why it wasn't working. Is this not it? Maybe we need to go all the way down? I feel like going all the way down is too much. It's too much, right? Yeah, no. How do I reset this? Okay. Let's try this again. Yeah? Why isn't this working? These grooves in the floor and land with dim incandescent material that glimmer upon close inspection. They appear to be... Maybe we should do it in a... No, it wouldn't work in a different angle. It definitely has to be done this way. I think this is just a reset button. Right? It doesn't seem to... It looks so correct to me. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm definitely doing it correctly. That is a symbol. Unless I'm... Maybe I need to do the circle around? Do that, and do that. I think we have to do the circle. I think the circle... I think we have to do the circle. I think the circle is slightly there. And then that's the correct symbol. There we go. Yeah, it's very, very, very... I don't even know if you guys can see it because it's so small. But it's very... Fadedly, there's a circle there. Let's go up to the tower. To another spire. I didn't know what... I thought there was going to be people in here, so that's why I didn't do this yesterday, but there's no people up in here. The arcane light courses skyward, trailing off towards the horizon in the direction of Vendrian's Well. You feel the ground ripped out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of this spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of the tether you feel atop Vendrian's Well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. The sunset spire in Lethian's Crossing feels burdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight long to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming the link with Vendrian's Well, strengthens the very stones beneath your feet. The structural weakness you detected vanishes, replaced by confidence that could keep this tower standing for millennia. See there, due south and Ardent, where I was born, and there, over the right, you see. To the right of there is where the Academy of Tides used to stand. Oh, and you can see that little island off of Barris and Chains. That's where Hagravar would take me to practice our more dangerous spells. My childhood as seen from above. This is surreal. If I threw a dagger from up here, I wager I could split a man on the ground in half. Damn, but I want to try. From here, even the old walls seem paltry. The sovereign view was not intended for the likes of us. Varric shakes his head slowly. Spire feels like a relay between you and Vendrian's Well, bridging some transference of energy on an enormous scale. You are the first link of a chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand the sensation, you grow aware of whispers all around you. Listen closer. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empire alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear these whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops settling on a leaf, then trickling into a shared basin. This image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at the true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Were you to harness it, you suspect that nothing would stand beyond your reach. Lore 35. Unlocking this spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done. I'm standing near you warms my rusted plates, makes me feel lighter somehow. On the moments my staff and I separated, part of its magic goes dormant until I'm once again near. That same dynamic is happening with you and the spires. They've adopted you, I guess? They certainly like you enough to not kick you out of bed. You look taller somehow. Like you could command a dozen gangs while unchallenged to knife you in the back. Okay. We can't afford any upgrades right now, but we've unlocked Forge, Training, and Library, so that's cool. How do I travel to my spires? That's what I want to figure out. You've acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This will reduce the travel time between tiers. You can upgrade spires you discover, building new structures on top of them. Upgrades take time and money to build and money to maintain. If you no longer have the money to maintain an upgrade, it will be suspended, and you will no longer receive its benefits. Oh god, that's annoying. There are 5 resources you can find in Kairos' tiers. Get that be used to power upgrade to your spire. They are scrolls, iron ingots, bronze ingots, alchemy supplies, and hide. Each upgrade uses different resources. Okay. I've been selling those, but I guess I'll save them now. How do I travel between tiers? It doesn't explain how to do that. Hi. How do I travel between them? It doesn't explain how to do it. It just tells me I can. Maybe from here? Yeah, I think probably just from here. So if we go to Vendrian's Well. I just want to switch characters. I think we should be able to switch characters. Now. No, who is this? Oh. Probably the merchant we hired, huh? Hey, Binder, come take a look. I've got beastmen coming here. I doubt that very much. You step on the huckster and peer down in the box. It's full of assorted junk, nothing more. Before you comment, you notice him reaching for a ring bell out of the corner of your eye. He flinches and withdraws his hand with a hurt look. Sorry about that, Fatebinder. Old habits, you know. I was only curious how much you were carrying. A merchant needs to be aware of these things before he can charge an appropriate cost, eh? Prevost at your service. I've come in possession of some items that might be of interest. All these stolen. At first he seems about ready to spout off a hasty answer, but he pauses and reconsiders. No. No in the sense that they aren't stolen, but yes in the sense that I'm not entirely licensed. But wait. Before you throw me into the Tunon's dungeon or worse, consider this. He spread his arms and turns in a circle. We aren't standing on Terratus. We're standing high above any citizen who is subject to the Overlord's law. And this place couldn't possibly be subject to the same rules that govern down there. He stamps his foot and points to the land below. Don't presume to understand Kairos' will. I need to consider the legalities. In the meantime, I'll take a look at your goods. A bunch of stuff! Woo! Any scrolls that we don't know? Plenty, but we don't have any money, so I don't even know why I'm looking. We're so poor. I wish I could sell stuff for 100% of what they're cost. Where'd it go? Did I throw it away? I was looking at it, now it's gone. Why is it doing that? Scholar's boots. A lot of this stuff is... I should lock some of this stuff. Can I lock it? No. Okay. Some of the stuff is like characters' armor. Light greaves, heavy armor bronze. Oh, I just realized we're listening to my copyright music still. Let me turn that off. Perfect. See what we got. Ooh, I know what I want to listen to. I was like, I'm gonna listen to this later, so we're gonna listen to this. A classic 2000s album. Okay. Where were we? Selling some stuff. I don't know if I want to keep these things. Wait, let me test. Is this better than what she's wearing? It's blue. It is better. Sell these things. We're gonna keep the blue stuff for now. Just in case. And I'm gonna sell these. As far as I'm concerned, they're for money only, so... Ooh, a upgrade for all our Fate Binder gear, huh? Interesting. That's kind of cool. They're both light armor. What's the difference? Deflection, precision, unarmed DPS. I should buy some more better gloves for my unarmed DPS as a monk. +1. +2. Okay, these are about the same thing. 14 to 18. Yeah, I think they're about the same. Deflection 1. Precision 2. I think we'll just buy one of them. Can we afford some boots? Technically we can. But I'm not sure. Disengage defense. Deflection. Or maybe we should buy... Oh no, we can't buy... We can't buy actual armor. The armor's too expensive. Should we... Can we... I don't think we can sell anything else. Oh, maybe I can sell what I'm already wearing. Actually. I like it's called a heavy leather helm, and then it's not heavy at all. Freezing. What happened to that fancy staff I had? Jesus of suburbia, the vital of not what we awesome. Didn't I have it? Oh, okay, well, let me sell it. I'm not allowed to sell it. Okay. This does nothing. Let's replace it then. Okay, that was actually a lot of money. We sell the staff. And is that what would be? This is how I'm supposed to be. In the land of live. You have to believe in me. I think we might be able to no. Very close, but not close enough. We do have Opportunist on our armor, too. These don't have any bonuses. They're just an improvement, you know? Wait, alright, I don't need weapons because I'm... Fate Binders, Tune on Hood. Not really better than what we're wearing. We're so close. We're so close to being able to afford... What are our boots? Cleansing Victory. Honestly, a hat is probably the only thing we could use. I do like the head wrap more, because I look like a ninja. Okay. Not too bad. Alright. We're gonna make a group of characters that probably shouldn't play together. Let me talk to...
Good day, Fatebinder.
Tyranny.
What do you need?
I would like to know more about you. Tell me about your homeland. What is there to say? It's a fuzzy memory, hardly worth recalling. I was born in the northern farming village without a name. That's how out of the way we were. A bunch of families ended up settling near each other, and that was my village. It was about 20 miles from Shadow's Rest, and you probably haven't heard of it either. We were farmers, poor and isolated. Nothing about my home or past is worth dwelling on, Fatebinder. I barely remember my father. My mother is dead, and the only thing people ever wanted from me was my song. The girl is powerful. Bring the songbird. We need a blessing. Our crops are withering. What has this bitch done? Her voice falters with the last statement. She shivers a little. Nothing in your past is worth dwelling on? It looks to me like you remember something. I suppose when an angry mob that fears you and what you can do stones your mother to death while she shields you with her body, it sticks with you. What do you remember about your family? The good thing about being taken from home when you're still a child is you can't miss the childhood you never got. You were taken from your family? Technically, by the time I was taken, there was no family left to be taken from, but Kairos' forces had gotten word of my talents, decided I was better used taking over the world than helping local farmers. You have no family left. What happened? What do you think? They're dead. My father might not have cared about me, about us, but my mother would never have let anyone take me while she lived. Without anyone to protect me, I was whisked off to Kairos' court. How would you describe your father? Worthless? Hopeless? Devoid of human emotion? Sometimes I feel like we were complete opposites. He seemed incapable of feeling anything, and I seemed to be nothing but raw emotion. Nera let it slip that my father sold me to Kairos and was responsible for my mother's death. Someone had to egg the crowd on, and someone had to tell Kairos' men where I was. Not that it matters, he's dead, and I'm better off without him. What do you remember about your mother? She's dead, so I don't have much to remember. She loved me. That much I know. But sometimes I wonder if what she felt was love or fear. Fear for me or of me. And sometimes I don't think there was a difference between the two. My mother loved me when no one else did, when no one else could. The world wanted nothing but my voice. All my mother wanted was my happiness. She was the only person in my life that did. Tell me about your mother's death. No, Fatebinder, I can't. Please don't make me talk about it. Okay, Siren, I will never ask you to tell me that story. Tell me about your father's death. He disappeared after my mother died and I was kidnapped. I didn't hear anything about him for the longest time, so I assumed that he had disappeared and I would never see him again. Then someone brought word that he had been found. He killed himself, and now he's out of my life. For someone who always has a lot to say, that was incredibly succinct. Is there more? You're relentless, Fatebinder. Did you ever think maybe there are some things I want to keep to myself? But yes, you're right. There's more to the story. When I got word he'd been found, I had him summoned to Kairos' court. I wanted to see the man who had condemned me to the life I was leading. When he arrived, I went to see him privately. I wasn't sure what I would feel. Anger? Hatred? I didn't expect apathy. For the first time in my life, I felt nothing. Standing there, staring at the man who ruined my life, waiting for him to notice me, my heart was dull and disinterested. Then he looked up and smiled. He smiled when he saw me. Can you believe that? He smiled and opened his arms to hug me, and it felt like someone reached in my chest and squeezed my heart, sending hate flooding through my veins. So I sang him a song. I told him how tired he looked, how haggard he seemed. I spoke of the weariness he must feel, the guilt that surely plagued him every day. I asked how he withstood the weight of his betrayal. The burden must be too much to bear. I watched the tears roll down his cheeks as he pulled the dagger from his belt. The sobs that tore from him as he held it before him, thinking about his wife and child, the look of ecstatic relief on his face as he dragged that blade across his neck. And got what he deserved, Siren. That's what I tell myself. And for the most part, I believe it. I can't help but wonder what terrible things he did in the 5 years after he vanished. And what I might have prevented if he'd only been around to hear me the morning my mother died. Now you know what's happened to my father. As I told before, he killed himself, and that's it. Do you have any siblings? No, I was close to a boy in my village for a time, but his mother stopped letting me play with him when everyone realized that what my powers were. That's the closest thing I ever had to a living sibling. A dark expression clouds her face. A living sibling. My brother died very young. I never knew him, so I hardly count him as a sibling. Life in the middle of nowhere is difficult. For a single child to survive, let alone more, is a testament to the parents. She looked at you for a time, her lips thin line. Her eyes grow red and tears form in her lids. Finally, she nods slowly and breaks her silence. I remember my mother talking about me getting a little brother. It wasn't long after I started singing and my power started growing. She told me that soon it would be too hard for her to travel with me. Steering, sweetie, she said. You'll have to go with your daddy. It wouldn't be good for the baby if I kept traveling like that. Maybe after your brother is out here with us, we can travel together. Siren looks out the horizon, her voice breaking. Go on. Everyone wanted the songbird to sing for them. They paid us so much money. So we went. But I want to go without my mother. She was the only real comfort I had. When I was with her, I felt safe. Nothing could hurt me. There was a trip coming up, and I knew she wouldn't be going. I couldn't bear the thought of those days in care of my father. Her voice breaks again, and she closes her eyes. So I sang to my baby brother. I told him that we were all waiting for him. I told him we needed to be a family so we could travel together. I told him he should come out now. I don't know if I meant for it to happen, but I sing the words. No one can resist my voice. My mother's screams cut the song short, and the blood, it was everywhere. I was dragged from the room, but I don't remember who took me. I only remember staring at my foot for the rest of the afternoon. The pattern soaked into my shoe. The splatter across the top of my toes. I couldn't bring myself to clean it off. I just looked at it. Go on. People came and went all day. There was a lot of crying. And nobody looked at me the same way after that. My mother told me that things like this happen all the time. But even at 5, I knew what I had done. And part of me was happy. I wanted my mother back, and I got her. Oh, you're a 5-year-old. That's a very typical point of view for a 5-year-old. She died protecting me. She loved me. But I terrified her. Every time I opened my mouth, I could see her flinch. After my brother died, she was never around when I sang. She couldn't bear to watch me. Let's talk about something else. That was traumatizing. Give me a second. I need to turn some audio down. How long have you been practicing magic? Always. I had no memory of being without the power. It has been my driving force, and I am who I am because of it. Every defining moment of my life is because of my voice and the power behind it. I've become what it made me, and it's what I've done with it. How long? Tell me about your time with the Voices of Nerat. What do you want to know? How did you meet Nerat? I met it when I was unceremoniously dumped on its doorstep by Kairos. All I felt towards it since the moment I saw it was sheer hatred. When one person tires of me, they just hand me off to another. I seem to be quite the handful. No one is truly prepared to deal with me, I suppose. I was its possession for 3 years, stuck doing what it wanted until you came along and started messing around with Kairos' plans. Why did Kairos give you to Nerat? I made the mistake of trying my song on Kairos, and forgiveness isn't exactly the Overload's vocabulary. Interestingly enough, I think it almost worked. Can you imagine how differently things would have turned out if I had a little more practice? I was brought out at one of the many lavish gatherings thrown at the palace. Kairos loved showing me off, impressing the gathered elite. So I performed, I sang, I danced, I convinced people to join in. Then, in the middle of it all, I had a brilliant idea to work one more performance into the show. Something that would be the ultimate end to the evening. I added a counterpoint to my song and directed it at Kairos. In it, I mentioned that it might be in everyone's best interest if Kairos ended up impaled on a sword. I honestly didn't think it would work, but why not try, right? It went as far as Kairos unsheathing one of his Royal Guard's sword, but then everything stopped. I don't know why. It was probably me. I got too excited and lost my control, but whatever the reason, Kairos was suddenly out of my control and let out a terrible shout. Weren't you afraid of getting caught? Of course I was. I've seen how the world works, especially Kairos' world. People don't live long when they're disposed of. It's violent and sudden. I figured I was dead anyway, so why not try to rid the world of a horrible threat? Really, you were trying to save the world? Fine, I was trying to save my own skin. Happy? I was 12, so forgive me if self-preservation was in the front of my mind. Oh look, a young lady who thinks of nothing but herself. Do you want to hear the story or not? Go on. Everyone stared, frozen by the yell echoing back at us. Kairos quickly recovered and gave the appearance of cheering us on, but I was convinced I was about to die. Interestingly, my execution never came. I finally realized I couldn't have been punished at the party, because Kairos would have to admit I had exerted my own will onto the Overlord. And without a good reason to call for my death, I couldn't have been executed afterward. Good old ego! I was the songbird. I did nothing but spread Kairos' will and gather the armies. Would you execute your best and most loved recruiting tool? So Kairos worked with Nerat, and they gave me this helmet to bring me back in line. Then I was handed over to Nerat, that monster, because it's the one thing in the world I cannot control. Present company excluded, Fatebinder. Why can't you control him? I've been inside its mind time after time, and I've never been able to get a handle what's going on in there. Every time I talk to it, I feel like a different person is talking to me. And every one of them wants something different. And in one particular wants something it's never, ever going to get. What has Nerat had you do for him? Now, if that isn't the question that goes right to the heart of the storm, I think you should ask me that. What hasn't he had me do? Or at least tried to make me do? Wait a minute. What does Nerat want from you that he's never going to get? Come on, Fatebinder. You can't be that naive. I'm still a child and I know about adult urgings, as one of my old teachers so clumsily put it. Somewhere inside that chaotic mind, I saw the most depraved and disturbing desires I've had the misfortune of feeling. No matter what Nerat says to you, do not trust it. That will always end badly. Oh, don't worry, I don't trust Nerat. Tell me more about the headdress. It's the bane of my existence, and something that's incredibly painful to talk about, so why not? She shrugs. What does it do? Makes me impotent. Do you have any idea what it's like to have a hurricane raging inside you? And to feel the gale crushing against you, to be released, only to feel a gentle summer's breeze? Kairos and Nerat made it for me. Just for me. If I attempt anything more powerful than a simple tune, it will kill me. Isn't that simply wonderful? Honestly, to be so terrified of a mere child. What do you have? Why do you have it? I might have tried to kill Kairos once. He and Nerat decided I posed too much of a threat, so they muzzled me. It was their attack dog, and they pulled out my teeth. You can hardly be surprised if the dog tries to bite you, if that's all you teach him to do. Why can't you simply take it off? Gee, Fatebinder, I never thought of that. Here, could you unclasp it for me so I can get out of it? Because I'll die if it isn't removed the proper way, you simpleton. Do you think I'd leave it on otherwise? If you can't take it off, then why did you try to get me to remove it when we met? How can someone so powerful be so stupid? I knew you wouldn't be able to remove it. That's not what I was trying to do. You're a Fatebinder. You honestly think I was going to pass up the opportunity to try and control a Fatebinder? How do you know you'll die if you remove the helmet? Because I doubt Nerat and Kairos would go through all the trouble just to play a trick on me. Something this subtle, elaborate, and long-lasting isn't really their style, at least not Nerat's. Plus, Nerat told me the helmet would kill me if I removed it, and while he might be a lying monster, I love telling the truth, so the truth caused an extra bit of pain. What would it take to try to remove it? Someone beating the information out of Nerat or Kairos. They are the only ones who know how it was constructed and how it works. I may ask people to remove it, but I know they won't be able to. That's not going to stop me from trying, though. Why the headdress? Why not just use magic to gag you? They tried magic. Didn't really work. The problem is spells can be broken, counter spells can be found, guards can be bribed, people can have accidents. Nerat and Kairos are the only ones who know how to remove this without killing me. The answer is locked somewhere in Nerat's insane, and Kairos is currently not conveniently located. Heads. I think that's all we have to talk about with Siren. Do you know anything about what's going on in the Tears? I know a great deal about what's going on here, considering I'm the root of cause of at least half of it. What do you want to know? How long have you been here? Since the beginning of the occupation. Kairos wanted me out of sight, but still in use, so I was given to Nerat. It used me to gather fodder for the chorus. What do you think about Tunon? He makes me uncomfortable. There's nothing behind that mask. It's dark and empty. What do you mean? Everyone has a presence. It's how my magic works. I reach into them and I convince the presence to do what I want. He has no presence. When I reached into him, there's nothing. It was bleak. I never want to feel that again. If you have to reach into someone's mind to control them, how did you influence entire armies to do what you want? I can't influence an army, but I can persuade them to feel the way I want them to. If I want to get someone to do a specific thing for me, I have to get inside their head, and that requires a lot more effort. No one can keep me out, but if they're aware of what I'm doing, I can't force them to do anything, at least not with this thing on my head. She knocks the hand against her helmet. Really, I don't know how it works. It just does. You might as well ask me where lightning comes from.
What do you need?
Let's add her to the party, I think.
Well then, let's go. If you're gonna teach me the wonders of the world, it's not gonna happen here.
Okay, so we rolled 2, 4, and 5, right? So she's number 5. 2 is...
Be seen,
I'll tack homeward.
Fatebinder.
Goodbye to you too.
4,
No doubt this'll
and
prove
5.
interesting.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting party indeed. We'll probably die. Get some level ups over here. Let's do spell cooldown. Okay, let's see if we can teach him new spells, because we did learn some new spells. Fireball. No, fire. Let's do fireball. $69. I am listening to the Gandhi stream. Range 60. Ooh. Recovery. Ooh, so close. I'd rather do this. I'm gonna replace this. Oh shit. I need to assign it. Okay. Spectral blur. I don't know about Titan's touch. We don't have anything new here though. Signal of illusion. False pit. Yeah, that's nice AoE. I think we can probably get this all the way up, right? 70 again. Okay. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do... No, we'll remove Titan's touch. Concussive bolt, probably really good too. 50, 70. We need to get that 70. Let's do... Do we have frost on here? Well, maybe we should give her some frost. When did we learn frost? Did we just learn it? I think we just learned it. We'll assign that to restoring touch. And we'll do healing here. We're just gonna do recovery. Getting rid of our touch spells, I think. Great after the bell. I was listening to you, Gandhi. I was listening to you, Gandhi. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. What is this? What is this raid message? I got raided, indeed. Caitlin got to Tyranny. Went from gay panic to conquering empires with Essential Allies rebrand era. The whiplash is real. Is it whiplashing? I think this is a very similar game to what Gandhi was playing. We're definitely fighting people in dungeons. So, thank you for your 5 stream streak, Gandhi. Let me read all of these messages and welcome everyone to the stream. We're listening to some American Idiot right now. Gandhi raids with 19 people. Welcome, Gandhi, of course, and Daniel L. Killian, Wolf Dad, Galaxy Pig. Welcome, welcome. That's a cute little dog emote. And welcome to me playing Tyranny, which is a game about I'm role-playing in spells. It's an RPG. It's a TTRPG. I don't know what else to say. Hello, Rick, as well. Welcome, Rick. And if you're new here, which I don't know if any of you are new here, I'm Allie. I do yoga. I have a podcast with my dad, and I play video games. What is the saying I came up with? Your essential dose of yoga, news, and chaos, or something like that. So don't forget to take your break, Gandhi, get something to eat, drink, and of course, I'll see you on Heartopia later. I'll see Rick on Heartopia later, and probably Wolf Dad on Heartopia later. Gotta do those dailies, am I right? And thank you for raiding, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for everyone. And everyone who came in with the raid, well, of course, go stretch your legs, or I don't know. I feel like a lot of people... Are we in an ad break right now? Sorry, guys. Not the ad break starting as I got raided. And that means I have to... That means I didn't notice the ad break, so I need to mark that on the bingo board. It didn't already do that. Did I not notice an ad break? Maybe I already marked that. Oh, here, doesn't notice ad break. I have this on my bingo card. Okay. But thank you for the raid. Thank you everyone for being here. And let's get back into... Sorry about the ad break. Let's get back into the game. Actually, since it's the ad break, I'm going to eat some food. Because that's what I do in my ad breaks. I can't eat all my food in one sitting. So I eat it in 2 sittings. Mm-hmm. It's so good, even cold. Some pasta. This album makes me so nostalgic. Mm-hmm. 30 more seconds. I'm gonna finish this. All right. Welcome back from the ad break. Sorry about the ad break happening instantly as soon as I start. As soon as I get rated. I should pay attention to that, but I don't. And that's why it's on the Pingo card. But for anybody who missed what I said, thank you for rating. I'll see you. I'll see you in Heartopia later. And let's get back into role-playing. And making spells is what I was actually doing. We're making some spells. I'm gonna switch this guy to all range spells because I'm a full mage. I actually don't know what Siren's build is. I think we're just like full mages and like whatever the hell I am. So this is gonna be interesting. But I think that's all really we can do. Let me look what Siren even is. She has a lot of points in magic because she does magic stuff. How are we gonna... I don't know if we're gonna do a full range party. She is... Okay, we're just gonna not level up any of these other things. Athletics, doesn't need that. Dodge probably should have that. Lore... Her lore is pretty low, actually. Hair is really low. We'll leave her subterfuge, but I don't know if she... Active effects. Plus 15 performance skill, plus 1 resolve. Let's see. What does she have here? She has... Siren releases a quick sonic blast that deals crush damage. The bolsters the party's resolve, extending the duration of their helpful effects and granting them increased dodge. I feel like we already have semi-support, so maybe we should just have her go straight to damage support. Songs... Okay. We can't learn anymore anyways here. Okay. Siren accelerates her vocal progressions, increasing the speed of her song and causing her to move through each stanza more quickly. Maintains damage, prevents field around herself. Any damage, even if prevented by a resonant field, will briefly stop the field from regenerating. Siren's voice fractures the armor of her foes. Enemies and cannot defend against Siren's voice and have their armor sundered. Ooh. Okay, that's a good one. Ooh. That might be a good one to have. Siren learns to precisely channel her voice towards nearby enemies, gaining an accuracy bonus for offensive songs. So we need to think of she sings faster, or... let's take this one, and then... Cutting breath at the beginning of combat, I think. What else do we have? I don't want her to be peaceful. It doesn't seem like her personality to be peaceful. We can give her accuracy bonus. Interrupting, that's pretty good. She's just CC. She's like a really good CC. Okay, we're gonna take that because we might actually die. We might actually be dying today. We are just putting all our things in preservation. Ooh, that looks like a useful ability. Okay. Are we good? We are good. Okay. We're gonna suffer, but we'll see what happens. I don't even think I have any gear for her right now, because I don't think of any gear for her right now. I just sold all the gear I possibly could have. This is heavy armor. Probably shouldn't put her in heavy armor. She doesn't have any abilities that are like melee. I don't even think any of these people are good melee things. Alright, I haven't put in her traits yet. Actually, maybe Ab can go into melee range. Should we train her in two-handed weapons? Seems a bit silly to do, but we could. Let's do accuracy, defense, and then we'll get that to 18. I'm not really sure how to build any of these because it's not really it's like their own system, so it's kind of all. It's just kind of all, you know? It's just kind of all. Wait, we didn't finish something? What did we forget? Do we still have a level up? No, she's just really close to leveling up again. Pretty sure we spent all our pieces. Yeah, we did. Okay. I don't know why it shows the 7 being red like that.
I got it.
We've activated another spire, so I guess we go to the bastard tier. There's one here, but we can't get there yet. There's one here, but we can't get there yet. Is that it? 1, 2, 3? I guess that's how many there are right now. Let's go the old wall. To the old wall and drinking. I love how I'm marked as a raider of my own stream. Love that for me. So funny. It's not over till you're underground. Oh. Does Lantry want to speak to me?
So, your latest acquisition has me thinking about the spires some more. By all accounts, they go as far back as the old walls. Over
pretty
the
old.
centuries,
Yeah.
the nobles of the tiers have claimed the spires, but they've only ever battled over the land at the ground level of the monuments. I've never seen the glyphs of a spire light up in all my years. Not until you show up. If this were an isolated incident, I'd be confused. But it seems the spires, plural, are somehow connected to you. What's your secret?
I've studied at Tuonon's feet. Proclaimed edicts. Broken them, too. I'm sure I've been exposed to all sorts of arcane powers. Alongside escapes Lantry and he sticks his quill in his mouth. Chewing on the tip, his head tilts from one side to the other, muttering in-shot words. Out with it.
If I had the words for it, I'd share. I'm just not sure what to make of it. I'm realizing how much more there is to learn.
Have a moment, let's talk further. Oh no, we already talked all we have. What about Ebb? You have anything to say?
Second spire has awoken to your presence. This is fascinating, and I admit enviable. If it turns out your connection to the spires invites death and woe, my jealousy might wane a bit. I've been mulling over that structure we found atop Vendrian's well. Would you be opposed to me studying the sculpture in closer detail?
Sure, go ahead. I don't know what's going on. Hello, Rampo. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. It's all good. I know how goofy Twitch can be.
I'd perhaps work a spell or two near the structure. Simple cantrips of Gravelight by which to read and inspect, but I will not poke or shove the thing in any way physical or mystical.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. If you think it wise, of course.
Thank you. Next time we have a good moonlit night, I'd best settle in and see what sort of
it's a
magic
date.
perturbations I can sense from the sculpture.
I always want to date all
What
the
is it you
NPCs. Let's return to our travels. Does Tyranny have anything to say?
Fatefinder, it is good to see you. By this point, I've usually been passed off to someone else for more training.
You joined our party like 30 minutes ago. What are you talking about? What's she saying? Why would we pass her off to somebody? We just got her. I'm sure she's just being dramatic. Tyrion's face shows a mixture of confusion and hopefulness.
What do you need?
Nothing. I was just, make sure you didn't have any dialogue. Let's leave. We have to go to the Bastard City and talk to Tunon, which is the person who controls our fate. And he might be angry at us, I think. When the Bastard City fell to Kairos' armies, Tunon the Abjugator, Archon of Justice, claimed the palace for his own. Now Tunon's court serves as the center of law and governance for the Tiers. It'll take us a while to get there. Oh, okay. Sure, we'll go that way. I felt like we were closer where we were, but sure, I'll accept that journey, I guess. There'd be a lot of people in here. Ew, nobles! See who's here. Lady Lucretius. Hello, can I talk to you? This well-dressed, older woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off into the distance, oblivious to your approach until you're right in front of her. Oh, greetings. She offered a reserved smile. And Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. A fate binder, no doubt. She nods. You need something from me? What are all these nobles doing in Tunon's court? She smirks and shakes her head. Trying to look brave, I want. But if you crane and ear to any of their conversations, you'll hear a different tale. 3 years since Tunon set up the shop in Bastard City, we're still getting used to our new masters and figuring out what we can and can't ask of them. She nods to the assembly nobles. These are smart, ring-plenty folk. The way they approach Tunon, you'd think they were raised under a tyrant's lash. Some have come to settle grievances, others to pledge fealty. I've been standing around long enough to know that the Abjugator doesn't care for empty gestures. How has the Bastard City fared since the conquest? Kairos' forces took the cities as we expected them to, without mercy or restraint. The Scarlet Corps spilled more blood than we had to give. We had to tighten our belts when the armor replenished the supplies from our farms and caravans. After our surrender, Tunon was kind enough to order grain hauled from the north. That earned him a lot of favor. We've suffered our share of hardships, but it seems that Kairos wanted us alive. That's a more generous outcome than some of us were led to believe. What brings a noble like yourself to Tunon's court? A frown cracks her pleasant demeanor. Like the rest of the frightened inbreds here, I came to see Tunon and ask him to right a wrong. The frightened inbreds. My manor was destroyed during the conquest. I told the Abjugator my woes, but he didn't exactly see eye to eye. Tell me of yourself. I'm the daughter of a noble house. We were wealthy enough to live in the city, but our means beyond that were limited. My mother dealt in fish, textiles, and bronze. By the time I inherited the business, we were taking care of itself. Of course, all of that changed. Thistleborn is no more, and my name has none of its former weight. Even if we were still in business, Kairos' laws would stifle our trading rights. Perhaps it's better this way. Among other things, Kairos' laws of quota and sharing meticulously regulate tradable goods. Permits are issued to deserving merchants on an annual basis, but their allowance circulate by a design known only to Kairos and Tunon. A former wool peddler may be restricted to selling only copper, and the subsequent year trade fresh vegetables. Even though they're a wool peddler. Okay. What is Thistleholm? That was my family's ancestral hall. The oldest stones date back to the years when the bastard city was naught but a dozen roofs and wagons clustering for warmth. Compared to the houses of the great lords, it was nothing special. Age had softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea. Something stronger even, but I would only disappoint. You'll find naught there but a gaping hole. Your home was in the warehouse district. You must understand that this home predated the city districts. My grandmother wasn't a persistent woman. Mustn't storing salted cod and lamprey eggs on the adjoining ground were no cause for her to budge from her spot. What happened? Collateral damage happened. When the Abdicator cast his judgment on the bastard city, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Age signified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole opened under her foundation. The bastard city's laws may not have been perfect by Kairos' standards, but my family followed them with respect. I never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tuon had in mind during his sentencing. So what are you going to do next? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed the Abdicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming? Can you believe that? She shakes her head. It's not even that I'm opposed to labor, but we're in a war. I can't have the scarlet chorus breathing down my neck. Grading my crops, and Kairos knows that. What else? Kairos' laws are made to serve the masses, not the individual. I can appreciate that, especially when there's suffering or corruption on a grand scale. It all makes sense on parchment, doesn't it? She glances to the left and right with unease. I come from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but I can't even reconcile Tunon's justice with Kairos' law. There's something wrong about it all. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, or maybe... Trails off, shaking her head in doubt. What do you mean? People come here for justice. They usually get a version of it. But it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half of the time, they don't even get what they wanted out of the ruling in their favor. She shakes her head. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kairos laws worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is a servant of law, but he's the Overlord's vassal, as much as any of us. Something seems like he's used his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. We're just pieces on a board, and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Fascinating. Now, how much is my silence worth to you, ungrateful one? Fuck it. Excuse me? If you show contempt for Tunon's justice, you can pay up now or in a labor camp. She regards you with a tired bewilderment. I suppose that will teach me to confide in an agent of Kairos, won't it? All of the court's great claims of objectivity aren't worth the rags on my back. Listen, learn twice over. Lady Lucretius cuts a belt of rings and sends them skidding across the floor. Shames a look of quiet intensity away. If you don't pick up those rings, I'll feed them to you. Something in her voice causes the blood to drain from her face. All right, my apologies. She lowers her knees and scoops up every last ring, keeping her head bowed to avoid it gawking at the other nobles. Your payment, take it and leave me be. Though she stands tall to preserve some shred of dignity, you see tears building behind her eyes. Well, at least we got some money. Not a lot of money. What did she give me? 5 gold? It doesn't even say, I think. Did it say? 200 rings! Oh, that's only the small ones, though, right? So we got 2 gold from that. Okay. I was hoping for 200 gold bronze rings. That would have been nice. Thank you, Rambo, for claiming your daily elixir. How do you get coins to unlock avatars? You get channel points from watching the stream. And then you can use those channel points in order to buy stuff. You can also summon a boss, and then if we win fighting the boss, you can get 1,000 coins, 1,000 elixirs. Get more. See, you already have 281. So you're getting 3 every one minute, I think. 3 every second. They're just like channel points. They're just like channel points. Except there's a limit of 250,000 instead of unlimited, like on Twitch. Okay. Well, that was fun, extorting Noble. I'm guessing she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Yeah, she's not very happy. What did we get there? I want to see. I think Tunon does not like me very much. I got some wrath, yeah. Whoops. Anybody else here? Mocking Blaze, Bitter Quip, Blood Mulch. If you want Rayquaza, there should be a channel point somewhere that says like request a stream avatar. So that's the one you can do if you want to specifically have me unlock one. I thought Rayquaza was in there, but I'm not sure. Maybe I made it non-buyable, so you can only get it if I give it to you with the channel point redeem. Looks like the Disfavored and the Chorus are fighting in the middle here. And this is Tunon. Oh, he does look spooky. And who's this? Fatebinder. Oh, other Fatebinders. Oh, there's so many people to talk to here. Let's just start this. I should have saved.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
Are we talking about how these guys started fighting each other instead of fighting for Kairos? Had a little civil war in the middle of a battle? Yeah. Shadows beneath Tunon's cloak darken and flare around him. Murmurs of unease erupt in the court. What's going on here?
Fatebinder, you arrived just in time. The representatives of the Vendrian's well siege have finished their testimony, and I cross-examine.
Okay.
Any closing statements, Lieutenant?
Tunon peers over the edge of his podium to regard the officers. Your Honor, I have relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. She makes a dismissive gesture to the Scarlet Chorus representatives. On my honor and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh, so you imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see through your lies because the disfavored think themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Bled and Mark will see to your fate.
The Archon turns, and you feel his gaze upon you.
Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other.
Yes, they
In
have.
addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
I may have caused this. I may be guilty of causing conflict. But the Voices of Nerat really pissed me off. Archons could not agree on who should lead the siege and descended into accusations of treachery. It seemed a mutual spat. The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. What balderdash! The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy. If only Ash and his legion would agree to a plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warned
Finish
you
my
both
soda.
against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. The disfavored sing your praises across the realm, though the Scarlet Chorus appeal for charges of treason. Perhaps you can offer a more enlightened account.
I claimed the Citadel with a small unit of disfavored.
An efficient solution. The type I would expect from a capable agent.
Thank you.
Tell
I am
me,
pretty
though,
capable.
With the edict looming overhead and death the price of failure, why not employ the numerical advantage of the Scarlet Chorus?
The voices of the rat provoked Ash at every turn. I suspect treachery. For a long while, the abdicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from below his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time?
I have told you all that I know.
Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder.
Who's lurking in chat? I got raided earlier, Tavara. Also, hello, Tavara.
A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming
Okay,
with
so
their
this is
kind.
we probably went
If you
Lethian's
would root
Crossing a
out
little
treachery,
early.
I would advise starting there.
Alright, we'll go back to Lethian's Crossing.
Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Okay. Disappeared in a thing of smoke. Hello. Let's go. Oh, should we talk to the Fatebinders? I'm actually really interested in them. Fatebinder Nunoval. My favorite too good. Ah, Ali. You return unscathed and more acclaimed than ever. Seems to be your way. The Fatebinder of War claps you good naturally and with excessive strength on the back. Come, you must regale me with all that your journey has held. I could use a moment of respite between friends. He regards you with a warm, boisterous smile. Word has reached me regarding your negotiation tactics at Apex. I must admit, I'm impressed you made any headway with the southern wretches. If they're open to reason, it would seem that they aren't as ignorant as the Archon of War would have us believe. Come, let us speak freely. How were you singled out to become a Fatebinder? I cannot speak for the other Fatebinders, but I joined the court when I was yet a little boy and impetuous beyond reason. I had been imprisoned with a death sentence for the crime of desecrating corpses. It was nothing so exciting as you no doubt imagining. I was merely burning corpses that awaited burial. Before the local authority could see me in the gallows, the abdicator claimed me a great talent waiting to be realized, needing to only be steered. Why burn the bodies? Corpses piling in the streets spread plague faster than the filthiest of rats. That's because rats don't spread the plague. The fleas do. I was but 10 and weak fighter. I did what I could for my homeland. Why was it a crime? There was a time when even the Northmen were of superstitious stock. A time before Kairos brought reason to the realms. The people of my city believe that without proper rights, I was cheating our fallen warriors from returning to the land. It's good that Tunon spared you. As I've said, the Abjugator saw within me something of rare value. As it is true for us all, you as well were chosen for our great court, for which I am grateful. As the Fatebinder of War, I rely heavily on your talents. Let's talk about something else. I'm curious about Tunon's masks. They can be rather unsettling, can't they? Even to one such as me, but I can assure you, the innocent need not fear the objective, emotionless gaze. What of the Abjugator's mask specifically would you like to know? I want to know about the silent face. The silent face is the face that Tunon shows to us, and for that we are fortunate beyond belief. The silent face is a painted face, a face for listening as Tunon presides over all matters brought to the court, taking great pains to ensure all sides of an issue are heard. I want to know about the face of resolve. Tunon's last known donning of the face of resolve was the moment he judged and called ruin to half of the districts in the bastard city. Since then, he has ruled our northern tier justly, calmly, and with efficient diplomacy. I want to know about the face that is no more. Tunon is said to have worn a third mask in eons past. I have heard rumor that the face displeases Kairos and thus was destroyed, as happens to all persons and objects that displease our overlord. Have you ever seen Tunon change his masks? In the way that you and I would change our raiment? No, not as such. And yet, I have seen the masks shift. They switched without the Abjugator or anyone so much as laying a hand on them. Not something you can watch unfold after a time, you merely realize has already happened. Let's talk about something else. Do you remind me of the history and origin of Fatebinders? Oh, sorry. The seasoned warrior rubs a finger on a line of stubble across his cheek. We are relatively young order, though we have spanned these past 2 centuries, while the voices of Nerat and Graven Ash need armies to execute their will. Tunon wields but a modest court of vassals. We exist as an extension of the law. There is no such place in all of Teratis beyond our judgment. Tell me more about Kairos' armies, our allies. No, I don't need to know that. I've claimed the spire to Vendrian's well. So the court's whispers are true. The Fatebinder rubs his fingers along the inside of his chin, pondering the thoughts with great weight. After a moment, he offers you a wistful sort of smile. Someday I would like to witness for myself this tower that has risen above the realms like a blade thrust into the sky. Let's talk to the other ones. Which voice should I give this guy? I see you return to the fold. Your exploits in the Vendrian's Well are the matter of some discussion. The Fatebinder of Balance regards you with a discerning eye. For a moment, you feel as if she's trying to peer into the very depths of your mind. What can I do for you? Callio touches a gentle hand on your shoulder. Has anything happened while I was away? Nornovol was dispatched to the stalwart to break the stalemate between the locals and the disfavored. He proclaimed Kairos' Edict of Storms, shattering the country with winds unending. You seem to know much of my actions. Have you been spying on me? Don't act so surprised. It's my duty to ensure those who operate under the Abjugator's name adhere to the spirit of his law, if not the very latter. Of course, I have nothing to hide. So you say, but I have weighed all evidence presented before me with objective eye. Assume you are being watched, Fatebinder, but don't concern yourself. That's no more than any citizen of the Empire can expect. How have you occupied your time in the bastard city? Turon sends me on assignments here and there. I settle disputes between the locals with the Abjugator and is otherwise occupied. Everything from trade disagreements to pushing court squatters out of basements. Real rewarding work. She waves it off. The glory of war is not the honor reserved for the likes of us. We're the fish swimming in Tunon's wake, picking up scraps along the way. We're rather large and imposing compared to the bottom feeders of the tiers, but fish all the same. I'd like to know more about Tunon. Tunon is our overlord's fare. exacting objecticator. He speaks with the voice of Kairos' law, and his word is judgment. All of this and more you can learn by asking him yourself. Go on, or does he intimidate you still? I jest, of course. Some concerns about the war. You're free to share in my confidence. She leans closer. Our armies squabble at each other's throats. Divided, we cannot win. I am less concerned about the armies that the Archons themselves. There can be no order when mountains collide. Who would you see as champion? This favored, our elite troops will bring us to victory. There is wisdom beyond your reasoning. Words are won through cunning, strategy, and strength. The disfavored are matched only in the number on the battlefield. Considering their opposition, Ash and his soldiers more than make up the difference. You say so. Fatebinder Regulus. Which voice should I do for this guy? Fatebinder, you return. Regulus looks you up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you have questions for me to untangle. Asking. I'm feeling generous. Tell me about some of the past Archons. Moralist of the mire, the Archon of Fungus produced most of the flora in the swampland of Nettlebog. A stooped hermit who rather resembled a dapperling, he was never once reported to have left his swamp. Some believe he still lives within the land, though there has been no sign of him in nearly 300 years. Where did you study when you were younger? I have been a ward of the court for as long as I've been aware. As a child, I demonstrated wholly perfect recall. I absorbed all Tunon and my tutors had to offer. I remember hating all the lectures and wish I could learn at my pace. Funny how I envied the sages of the Tears, how they could spend their whole lives reading a never-exhausted library. Of course, now the Vellum Citadel is nothing more than a burning waste. What do you think about the other Fatebinders? You'll need to be more specific than that. I'm afraid there's... is, on last count, slightly more than a handful of us. What's your opinion of the Fatebinder of War? None of all's keen, brash, and a hardy braggart with a fondness for bloodshed. He can be utterly unbearable at times. His justice is fair, even if he skews towards rather exacting and uncompromising punishments at times. What's your opinion of the Fatebinder of Balance? Calio is the finest among us. Her discernment is beyond reproach, and she's perhaps Tunon's favorite. She has a mind for suspicion and observation that makes others uneasy. We who operate within the confines of the law have nothing to fear, of course. What's your opinion of me? You follow an orderly path, regimented and organized, perhaps too orderly for our station, but that is neither here nor there. If you execute your job with wisdom, be sure you don't stray into the path of chaos. Down that way lies rebellion. Let's talk about something else. Can you tell me about the old walls in the Bane? With which should I start? Tell me about the old walls. We know little enough about the ancient structures, save that they predate all historical record. The forbidden ruins crisscross the Tears and north alike centuries before we raised our cities. The only one old enough to guess is likely Kairos. Tell me about the Bane. The Bane are found in old walls, but much of their defiling quality still escapes me. They are creatures of smoke, claw, and fang. If you find yourself unfortunate enough to fight one, remember that spells are effective against them, but grab the attention of others lurking nearby. Thank you for that advice. I'd like to know more about the Tears. The political entities of the Tears are essentially split between the Bastard Tier, the Younger Realms, and the Free Cities. Which would you like to know? What can you tell me about the Bastard Tier? The Bastard Tier is the most northern of the tiers, and was the first to bow to Kairos' reign, though the knee they bent fell unwillingly. Kairos had his eye on the Bastard Tier for many years before he marched on our capital city. This is the hub of trade and commerce. Claim the markets and the people will follow. I'm curious to know more about the Younger Realms. The Younger Realms sprawl the middle and southernmost tiers and can be cataloged as follows. Apex, Azure, Haven, and Stalwart. Azure was renowned for its exceptionally fertile land, which fed the whole of the tiers. That was before Kairos' Edict of Stone blighted the land. Stalwart is also worth mention, for it comprises the whole of the southernmost tier, and proves the toughest and most defensible of the realms. It's often said that the other realms will not fall while Stalwart yet stands. The local army wages bitter war against this favored. Though Edict of Storms has cut off the best of their defenses, it is only a matter of time before Stalwart falls. I would like to hear about the free cities. There are 3 free cities remaining: Last Harbor, Spiral's Mall, and Bears and Chains. And the first and strongest of the free cities was the Setting Sun, which Kairos crushed in 429 with the Edict of Tumult. After that, the remaining free cities were quick to surrender. I want to talk about the sages. I will not speak of the sages. They are no better than the charlatan and cons. Wholly selfish is their ill pursuit to hoard all knowledge from others. They are self-blinded by their own deceptions and clever manipulations. They alone cause their own undoing and are solely to blame for the burning library, one of the most grievous of wrongs in the known histories of which they can never be forgiven. That is true. That is exactly what, Lantry said, right? They could have stopped the library from being burned, but they decided not to. Let's see if this favorite have anything to talk about. Also, let me save. I haven't saved in a while. Anything beats a prolonged siege, Fatebinder. Endure the war while you can. Didn't think I'd make out of that pass alive. You've done well for the Legion, Fatebinder. Fatebinder. The lieutenant gives you a curt nod. I'm ill at ease in this polished hall, but I admit that it's reprieve from the battlefield and training grounds. If Ash needs me to stay here and represent his interests throughout the occupation, then I'll be up to the task. Okay, I guess I have nothing to say. I don't really want to talk to the chorus, so we're just gonna ignore them. Fuck the chorus, man. Okay, let's talk to Tunon.
This civil war, this feud, is an insult to Kairos'
I agree
peace.
with you.
It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers.
Tunon regards you in thoughtful silence. I agree, Your Honor.
Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup.
Exactly.
It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage, and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus.
Find out if Ash or Narot are working against Kairos.
Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought
Very
chaos
biased
and
against
disorder upon the
Narot,
tiers.
but I'll try to not be too biased against him. What if I find them both blameless?
Then you will have fallen grievously short in your
Okay.
duties. The conquest of the tiers frays
We have to make a
around us.
choice.
There is a root cause. If you cannot get to its source, then I shall find another who can. As always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name. But you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner
Sounds
of your
good.
choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice.
Okay.
The disfavored seem the logical first step in your inquiry. The Legion holds you in some esteem. Engraven Ash has shown deference to the court in times past. No doubt the disfavored will be rife with accusations and evidence against the voices of Nerat. Graven Ash is a noble man, but never underestimate his capacity
That's
for
a fair
deception.
point of view.
A wise general succeeds by knowing when to be unreadable to the enemy. You should, of course, speak with the Scarlet Chorus and gather their testimony, but it stands to reason that most in the chorus would sooner brag about a pauldron fashioned from your skull than entertain your questions. Do not regret killing the rabble that impede your investigation. They will be easily replaced.
I'll speak with the Archon of War.
Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel. The Scarlet Chorus leader in Plainsgate is set on taking the Disfavored's holdings with lethal force. Rumors of aggressive chorus posturing are commonplace, but if you are in the Stone Sea, it would be wise to investigate.
Oh man,
There
that's
is
so
a
many
final matter to
things.
discuss. A sensitive topic.
Though it is impossible to gauge from his expression, Tunon seems more wary than usual. What concerns the court, Your Honor?
In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an
Yes.
edict of Kairos, resolved its demanding conditions.
I knew this
and
would come up.
ascended the mountain spire.
I'm becoming strong. I'm becoming more important than my position, which is very, very dangerous.
Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3.
I was only doing my job, Your Honor.
Your sense of obligation to your role is admirable, but modesty will not recommend you to the task ahead. Whether by design or by accident, you have
no.
captured the attention of Kairos' army and the local tiersmen alike. This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential. You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is
That's
determined
true.
by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title.
And that's why we use intimidate on people all the time.
Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again.
I look forward to chaining chaos to my will.
So long as order and Kairos' law follow in your wake, you may dispatch chaos however you see fit.
He didn't like that.
You are dismissed. Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kairos' name.
Tunon raps his gavel against the floor, the singular note resounding throughout the hall. And then he disappeared again. I pissed him off just
Sorry,
a little bit.
I can't.
Just a little bit. You return. It is gratifying to see that your war has not caused you to forget your roots. What is it you wish to know? I have a request from Barrack of Stone Shields. That troublesome armored figure staring daggers at me from the antechamber. What does it want? Tunon glances behind you to the distant, imposing silhouette. He came here to inquire if the Forge-bound could help remove his armor. If he has become encased in iron, that is none of the court's concern. My Forge-bound smiths are occupied crafting weapons for the army, and I would not have their focus diverted to liberate one soldier from his raiment. As you will, Your Honor. Now that it's decided, is there anything else you need from the court? I wish to speak about matters of the law. Then you are well situated, for my court is the legal heart of this corrupt and uncivilized realm. What matters draw your curiosity? You are fully well versed in Kairos' law, but I am happy to discuss the particulars. I wish to discuss Kairos' peace. The cornerstone of our wartime efforts, of course. Kairos' peace guarantees all willing supplicants under the Overlord's authority a place in her world. The exact wording of the bylaw is your life is not yours to discard. The Overlord has plans for you. This extends to several spheres of influence. Among others, it grants protection to enemies to surrender in a time of war, and it forbids suicide. To dispense with Overlord's vassal and property is prohibited. Remind me how the Overlord's name may be used. It is not forbidden to cross one's tongue with Kairos' name, but it behooves one to use caution and respect. The Overlord's name is not yours to give, whether to progeny, product, location, or abstraction. Slander of the Overlord is punishable by death. There's only one Kairos, and her name is safeguarded. No one may say Kairos and have it obfuscated by a second meaning. Neither will her name be associated to trivialities. A gambler will not attribute his fortune to Kairos' luck, or his misfortune to Kairos' scorn. Such an association lowers the overlord in public estimate, and rightly considered slander most foul. Let us discuss the old walls. The old walls are forbidden, and as their contents and their denizens. Owning any item from the old walls is considered a trespass, regardless of how it came into your possession. Mind that in the course of your travels. As the old walls extend across much of the tiers in Northern Empire alike, Kairos permits her servants only pass where she has sculpted the landscape to permit traverse. Under no circumstances are you to enter a breach in the old walls, even for a task as innocent as crossing to the other side. That's good to know. If these restrictions seem too severe, I would remind you that they are there for the protection of Kairos' subjects. The Overlord has no desire to see harm needlessly inflicted upon her loyal followers. For being idiots, I expect. Remind me of the magician's folly. Practitioners of the arcane arts must be sanctioned by one of Kairos' guilds, such as the Blood Chanters or Forge-bound. Rogue musicians with a tenuous grasp of unknown powers will not be tolerated. Ep lowers her gaze to the ground, thumbing a chord on her bandolier in a thinly veiled attempt to appear uninvolved in the discussion. Your orphan mage there is covered by the aegis of the Blood Chanters Guild. When you go send the elders of the school to their fate, all of our traditions are now, in the eyes of law, Blood Chanters. Diplomatic immunity, and all it cost me was my dignity. So I'm a Blood Chanter in the eye of the law. Just salt the wounds, why don't you? A sanctioned mage whose spellcasting causes damage to life or property is lawfully deemed innocent. As long as they practiced their art in the service of Kairos, all is forgiven. Let me speak of quotas and sharing. The harvest blooms and blights by the will of Kairos. In times of lean you will be fed. In times of wealth you will feed others. This law is a sizable category unto itself, serving many needs at once. Trade and tax being only two examples. The broadest intent of the law is to empower Kairos' subjects to care for their neighbor and expect care in return. You might take note of the law application to trade. A merchant's right to peddle their wares is defined by permits granted annually. The regional authority has the right to decide if the merchant sells cabbage one year and sandals the next. Anyone breaking through the restrictions is subject to immediate forfeiture of all assets. I'm curious about the restriction on forbidden knowledge. Kairos herself set the standard of what can and cannot be known. These restrictions are rarely enforced, but they are worth taking into account. During the war, for example, Kairos deemed the knowledge of the Velium Citadel taboo. No one may possess the wisdom of the fallen repository, save Kairos herself. Calling it a taboo seems a bit like overkill, but to play Kairos' advocate, the world would hardly be safer if all had access to the law of making poisons or the art of arming brigands in fine bronze. This is for the protection of all her subjects. Before the coming of Kairos, during the age of anarchy and discord, powerful knowledge in undeserving hands leveled empires without thought or mercy. Kairos has no desire to revisit those dark times. Am I beholden to these laws? That should not be a question. We are all subjects of Kairos. Our laws define and regulate our very way of life. With that said, as an agent of law, you are granted more leeway than a soldier or citizen. You may find yourself compelled to commit morally questionable acts in the name of Kairos. If it serves the court's justice, much may be forgiven. So the rules don't apply to you as long as you're enforcing them on someone else. I want your job. If the court finds any of your actions suspect, we will summon you to answer for yourself. Your testimony will be heard and judgment rendered. You are exceedingly curious about the application of Kairos' laws. I find it refreshing that you would seek my counsel, Fatebinder. Previous questions. I have no more questions for now. Then be on your way.
Sorry,
okay, let's see.
I can't.
Let's see if there's any more side quests we can unlock here. Yeah, we've got... Claim the reigning spires and the tiers. There's a side quit. Unfortunately, we got a no from Barrick there. Do these guys have any more quests for me? Wait, Bonder, your return. Vargas looks you up and down with an inscrutable expression. You look as if you have questions. No, I don't have any questions for you. Do you need something? No, I don't. Already guess. Sorry, nobody has new dialogue. Okay. We speak again. Tell me more of Kairos' armies, our allies. Ah, yes. Well, with friends like these, our work is often self-explanatory. Are you asking about the Scarlet Chorus or the Disfavored? Scarlet Chorus. It's the Scarlet Chorus soldiers hail from every corner of every realm. As the chorus marches, it conscripts indiscriminately from those it has conquered to replenish its ranks. There's no continuity of command in the chorus, nor it allows, encourages even the strong to challenge the elitists. But the chorus has numbers and brute force is almost always a viable solution, much as Rogalis insists otherwise. Besides, the Scarlet Chorus draws strength from the multitude it swallows. Its blood chanters have taken knowledge from various tiers of mystics. Many of the chorus' best soldiers were grown here in the south. The Disfavored are the iron tip of Kairos' great phalanx, armed with the best weapons, the most comprehensive training, led by the brilliant Graven Ash. The Disfavored have no equal in open battle. The Legion has a saying, Graven Ash protects and is no empty boast. The Archon of War is able to lend his will and strength to his soldiers and give them endurance beyond human limits. To have great respect for the Disfavored, but I know where I stand with them. They are a very close-knit band. All of them from northern families, many of them related to each other. None of all sides is smile wistful, but considering our role in the Great Hierarchy, I can't fault General Ash for being selective. Okay. I think we're done talking here. Do these guys want to talk to me at all? Probably not. He ignores me. I'd mullet you right now if it weren't for Tunon breathing down her neck. Wait, Binder. You're no stranger to Tunon's court, but before you spend a little time here as possible, in spite of these closed walls, I feel strangely exposed. He glanced up at Tunon. Fair warning, when you backed Ash, you were as good as signing your death warrant, but we shouldn't discuss such matters in the court of law. You'll make our time in the tears interesting one, won't you? He smiles an unconvertibly long time. Of course you will. You gave me something during the conquest, Tidecasted elders to interrogate. Now I'll give you something in return. He whispers an arcane symbol in your ear, one that you won't soon forget. Sigil of Emotions. Oh, nice. What does that do? Escape myself. Did I get one? Sigil of Emotions? I don't see one. Oh, maybe here. Here it is. Enraged mind. Affliction. Ooh, control. Okay, let's assign that to you. Taunting jest. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Actually, can I probably increase all this stuff? Oh, she can't do that one. We can do recovery, range? Not range. We'll just do recovery then. Or should we do range instead? I think range is better because it's an AoE, right? Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Is there any other spells we want to give her? You have ice and some healing. You have some healing and some fire. And also this one. I guess frost is also good for CC, right? I feel like little force isn't really just concussive bolt again. It does give concuss though. But I feel like we should give her something to heal herself with. Oh, she can't learn it at all. Never mind. We should just do Concussive Bolt then. Alright. Let's go... where should we... we should stop streaming is what we should do, but I'm gonna try to decide what we're gonna do next. Let's go talk... I guess we'll go back to the tower and speak with Barrick, I think. I need to pee, so I really need to stop streaming so I can go to the bathroom. Oh shit! Oh, something happened. Welcome back, kid. Amusing you would have been to watch the Eddie drop, I guess I'm glad you lived. Bleeding Mark, Archon of Shadows, rouses from a faraway stare. He's turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadow that surround him. I hear you threw your wings on Graven Ash's side. Not a bad bet to pick the Archon of War. But tell me the truth, did you go with Ash because it seemed like the right thing to do, or because supporting the voices was the worst option? Our lives depended on military success. I was not about to hand control to the Archon of Secrets. What is it to you, Archon of the Elderly? Don't trust the voices? It looks like you have brains. All that matters is that Edict of Execution was stayed. Those stationed at Adrian Wells should be thanking you for their lives. Now I assume you're off to go meet with Ash, but first you and I need to have a little chat. I'm listening. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody has done before. Got a guess as to what that might be? Look, the sarcastic options. I'm the first person to resolve an edict before its consequences came to pass. Close, but not quite. It's rare, but it's not the first time that Kairos has issued an edict primarily as a threat, providing the target sufficient time and motivation to comply in order to avoid the edict's punishing effects. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither is surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict. We are the first to proclaim and resolve the same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for several centuries. And now I go on your short list of people who stand out as potential problems? More or less, mostly more. He offers you a generous grin because I'm really smart. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the dangers you're in now that you've put yourself on the map. Thinking with a disfavored is a smart idea, kid. At least smarter than getting mixed up with the Archon of Secrets. Yeah, the disfavored are loyal. They're loyal. And they're purple. And they're loyal. You've never really been one of them, but if you value Ash's warriors, will serve the best they can. Wait, there's still so much I want to ask you. Not now. Try me somewhere with a fewer prying eyes and listening ears. Until the next. The Archon of Shadow shrugs to you in a farewell, but his golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you. Okay, I think we'll go to the spire in Lathrian Crossing. And we'll save here. He told me to go to Lethian's Crossing for whatever reason. Oh. Conquered roads of the even in the midst of war between the Archons, the travel along the long conquered roads of the Bastard Tier tends to be relatively safe and uneventful. A river meanders slowly aside the road, and the plains sweep openly before you towards distant towering mountains and the hazy gray line and the old walls on the horizon. From your vantage atop a rise, you can make out a far-flung settlement, a small stand of trees. On a log off the road ahead, you make out a young tearsman, not quite a woman, grown, working on an object in her lap. When she spies you, she leaps to her feet, waving to capture your attention. Speak with her. The girl smiles warmly as you approach, though the expression falters slightly when she sees your heraldry. Tall and tad lanky, the waif boasts an unkempt mop of brown hair and large eyes in the color of unpolished peridot. She asks if you are interested in a trade, an item she scavenged for the handful of rings she needs to purchase some chickens. She presents the object proudly, wrapped in a long sheet of clean cloth, and to your surprise is a well-kept blade and expertly worked iron. Examine the sword. You ask the young woman to see the blade more closely, and after eyeing you suspiciously for a moment, she passes the weapon. It's a long, well-forged blade with a sharp shift in its length, and about halfway up the blade, the design is clearly used by the disfavored, and a stamp near the hilt confirms it was crafted by the forge-bound. Purchase the sword. You give the girl a thin leather cord heavy with rings in exchange for the weapon. She thanks you profusely, trying the cord about her neck and tucking the rings beneath the neckline of her tunic. Ask where she got the blade. She explains she found the sword in a stand of trees among the fields an hour or so south of the road. You know that it's an area you likely would never have visited otherwise. Give her more rings. You offer the girl a few rings as she leads you to the place where she found the blade. Her eyes widen at the copper. She accepts him with an enthusiastic nod. Thank you, Daniel, for claiming your daily elixir. Follow her. She leads you south across the fields over gently rolling hills sparsely cultivated with grains and vegetables. You evidently come to a lonely copse of trees, jutting from the wind-combed grass like a stone from the sea. Within the shade of the oaks you find a small squad of corpses, bloated with reeking, stripped of their small clothes. Search the scene. While you locate a few scraps of broken iron and shredded leather, and find more than a little dry blood, it seems these bodies were thoroughly looted. It's surprising that the girl found even this blade left. When you ask her about it, she says she happened to find it pressed in the mud under one of the bodies. Examine the bodies. You look at the bodies over carefully. There are 2 men and a woman, each slain by violent trauma, but with heavily scarred bodies that indicate they've all been wounded numerous times prior. The evidence strongly suggests these were members of Ash's disfavored legion that finally suffered wounds against which Ash's Aegis could not protect. You turn on the girl, demanding she tell you what she knows of what happened here. She takes a step back, surprised by the scrutiny, and protests that everything here is as she found it, albeit a few days older. She doesn't know what certainty what occurred, though she mentions Scarlet Chorus readers are a common sight in these parts. Bury the bodies. You set to digging graves for the departed. The sun hangs blood red just above the horizon, but the work is done. Soaked in sweat, you look down on the 3 nigh-identical mounds with stones as markers. Leave and report your findings. You take a parchment and quill and decide who to inform about what you found here. Tunon. The party received disfavored from Iron Sword placed in the stash. You have gained favor with its favored. Before continuing your journey, you draft a brief response of your findings to the court. A few days later, you receive a formal missive of apprehension from the Archon of Justice. This is further evidence, he purports, of the chaos gripping the tiers. Remain vigilant, he warns, and continue forward with unclouded eyes. Yeah, we got that disfavored love and appreciation. Oh, we almost got 5 favor with Tunon. Wow, we're exhausted because we had to dig all of those graves. End counter. All right, we'll save here. And we'll go back to the main menu because I love doing my outro on the main menu. Thank you everyone who was here today for the yoga, for the before coffee, and of course for the raid, Gandhi, and everyone. Thank you for following me around. But I guess I missed the alert going off that you followed me, but thank you for following. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing more yoga. Wacky and Weird Wednesday on Before Coffee, and of course Guild Wars 2's Guild Wars 1. Sorry, Guild Wars 1 on Wednesday, so we're playing more Guild Wars 1. Trying to finish up Prophecies here, the longest one I feel. I don't know if it's the longest, but it feels the longest. Don't forget to drink water, wear sunscreen, and namaste, bitches. Let's look for somebody to raid. Oh wait, I already know who to raid. I was already gonna raid Rick because I also want to play Heartopia. Heartopia. I always say it wrong. I'm getting Hytale and Heartopia confused. Alright, so let's raid Rick. We'll go over there. Let me make sure it's working because I have trust issues. Alright. And then let's do... Game over! Yeah! Thank you everyone for being here. Please take care of yourself. Also, de-stream along with me and all of that. You can copy that first message for the follower raid message and the second one for if you're subbed. And don't forget to stretch. Oh, I do need to stretch. I need to use the bathroom and I need to stretch. I must make it through the raid. You can do it, Allie. The great thing is when I sit down... Oh, and there's all the people who are chatting with me and our visitors today. I like how I put it under visitors. Our visitors today from Gandhi. I'll see you over in Rick's chat because I will be there while I edit this post-stream stuff. So if you're ever looking for where I am after I go off stream, it's probably in Rick's chat. And if Rick's not streaming... I don't know. I don't know where I am when Rick's not streaming. Bye! I don't exist if Rick's not streaming. That's what it sounds like.